Hi guys, today we're going to be working with domain and range. You're going to need your graphing calculator handy, so make sure you have it. I'm going to show you how to do a few things on the calculator. It's really good to take notes of these things and learn how to use your calculator well. It will really help you and assist you in solving these problems. So domain, recall a function is a set of ordered pairs in which the x element or the input is only one y element or output. So remember what it means to be a function. Every input has one output. The domain of the function is a set of all x values or inputs for which the function rule can give an output. The range of a function is a set of all y values. So our x values are our domain, our y values are our range outputs for the function. Basically, domain means x values, range means y values. So we're just going to go through some of these. We're going to practice doing the domain and the range. So it says, determine the domain and range of each. Write your answers in set notation or using the combined inequality when necessary. So set notation means like this. So capital D, what are our inputs here? So we're looking at the x values. Remember when we read a coordinate, it goes x comma y. So our x values are going to be February, April, June, and August. Our range or our output values are going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. So I just put, just so you know what my notation is, sorry, I should say that. So I do the set. Remember to make those, it's an S to a 2 or a 2 to an S. That's the easiest way to make them. Range stands for Y, so I put a Y for my variable. 2, 4, 6, 8. Do you know what those numbers stand for? You got it, the number of the month. All right, now we're looking at this set of ordered pairs on this graph. Maybe you want to write them off to the side. So let's look at this. So I have a point here, 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 here. So my coordinates are -2, 2, -1, 1, -1, -2, 1, 1, 2, -1, and 2, 2. What do you notice right about this? You are correct. Does this graph represent a function? Explain. We cannot have repeating x values, so domains can't repeat. Let's do that one first. Not a function. Do you see how it doesn't pass the vertical line test? So if I were to take a vertical line and draw it here, I'm hitting 2 points, and here I'm hitting 2 points. That can't happen to be a function. So not a function. You could say because it does not pass the vertical line test, or you could say because each input has more than one output. All right, so our domain, let's go back to that. We're looking at our x values. So our x values are -2, -1, 1, 2. When they repeat, you only have to write them once. For the range values, we have, I like to go lowest to highest, please. -2, -1, 1, 2. Same values. All right, so now we're given it in a different format. So this is where domain and range can be a little bit trickier. We're going to grab a highlighter, and I'm going to make it thin. So domain, let's use green for domain. Domain are the x values. I take my graph, farthest left. I draw it up to the x-axis. Go to the farthest right, down to the x-axis. So this is my domain from here to here. Then I have to pay attention to the endpoints. So my endpoints are open circles to open circle. So if I'm looking at my domain, it would be from -2 to 4. So in interval notation, it would look like this, -2, 4, with parentheses because they're not included. As an inequality, we would write it like this. -2 is less than x, which is less than 4. So that's a compound inequality like it said, or a combined inequality like it said in the directions. All right, so now let's grab a different color highlighter. So we'll do our range in pink. So I'm going to my lowest to my highest, my y values, my lowest to my highest. So this is my range from here to here. So my range, so again, it's an open circle because it's not included to an open circle. So if I'm looking at it in interval notation, the lowest it goes is -4. The highest it goes is 5. As a combined inequality, it would be -4 is less than y, which is less than 5. So graphs are a little bit trickier because we have to do the whole interval. It's not just a list of numbers. Given the connected points on the graph with arrows, so this keeps going forever here, forever here. Domain. So let's go back to our green highlighter. Domain. So I'm going farthest to the right, farthest to the left. See how these arrows keep going? So if I were to keep going and going and going, it's going to get wider and wider and wider, left and right. So it actually keeps going forever this way and this way. So our domain, when that happens, if we were saying it in interval notation, it would be -infinity to infinity. Otherwise, it's covering the whole number line, so that's called reals. All right, let's look at our range. It has a minimum or a lowest point. So the minimum is down here, and then it keeps going up forever. So if I was doing this in interval notation, my range, the lowest value, it's touching it, it's included, is -4. The highest is it goes up forever to infinity. So our range is y. Y is greater than or equal to -4. All right, so this is reviewing what we did with functions the other day. They're giving us the input, we're giving the output. So evaluate this at -3. So this means when x equals -3, what does y equal? So -3, 1, 2, 3. -3, go up to here. The y value, if I read across to y, is 1. When x equals 1, y equals what? So when x is 1, 1, 2, -3. For f of 3, 1, 2, 3. What is our y value? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when x equals 3, y equals 5. Can the function rule given by the graph give you a value when x equals 5? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I look here on this line. Am I hitting anything? No. So can the function rule given by the graph give you a value when x equals 5? If so, what is it? If not, why or why not? So the answer is no, because the graph ends before 5. So is x equals 5 in the domain? Nope. Given two other values of x that are not, give two other values of x that are not in the domain. All right, so let's just figure out what the domain is. So I'm gonna go back to green because that's what we're using. So the domain, I go to the left, mark it. I go to the farthest right, mark it. So this is the domain from here to here. So any two values that aren't in it. So if I'm going 1, 2, 3, so 4 is not in it, 5 is not in it, 6 is not in it, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6 is not in it. So anything that's outside of the -5 to 3. So I could say -6, I could say 4, I could say 5, I could say 6, I could say anything larger, anything smaller. Circle the values of y that are in the range. All right, so let's look at the range. So I'm going to go back to my purple. I'm looking for the lowest to the highest. So lowest to highest. So I know it goes up to 5 for a maximum, -1, -2, -3, -4 for a minimum. All right, so I'm looking to say, is 0 and the, so go through these and say yes or no. So I have my range being between -4 and 5. So 0 works, 3 works, -1 works, and 4 works. I do not have 6, I do not have -5. Write the domain by using a single inequality. So we're looking back at our green. We said the farthest, this I'll do it in an interval and then I'll do it as an inequality, is -5 included to 1, 2, 3. So to 3. So as an inequality, it'll be x -5 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 3. Our range, so we're going to the purple. Our lowest was -4. Our highest was 5. So now as an inequality, y -4 is less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to 5. All right, we have our calculator up for number 6. I want to show you how to type this into the calculator. Actually, anytime you're doing function notation, you are able to use your calculator to help you. So let's take a look how we type this in. I want you to go to your y equals. So everyone find your y equals. We're going to try to type in this function, x divided by 2 minus 3. So y equals is top left. If there's something in there already, you have to clear it. If it's not graphing, there's usually 2 reasons why. You might have the plot 1 turned on, so you have to turn off the plot 1. So to get up to plot 1, you hit the up arrow. If it's in black, it's not going to graph for you. So you have to hit enter on it to turn it off and then come back down. To put in the fraction, we're going to hit alpha, y equals. We want the x next to the alpha key, down arrow over 2, right arrow to get off the fraction, minus 3. So that's how we type it in. Now we're going to hit second table to get the values. So I'm looking for -4. At -4, my value is -5. Then I'm going down to 6. At 6, my value is 0. At 10, my value is 2. I'm just reading them off the table. -4 goes to -5. 6 goes to 0. 10 goes to 2. So that's how we do the use the table to help us find it. So anytime we have to evaluate a function of a number, we can type it into our y equals and get the value off of our table. It says write the range using set notation. So range is y, -5, 0, 2. All right, and then these last two. Which of the following is not in the domain of this function? So let's go back to our green highlighter. We're going to find the point that's the farthest left to the farthest right. Farthest left to the farthest right. Let's figure out what these numbers are. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So -5 on the left. On the right, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the right. So I'm looking for the numbers that are between -5 and 4. Yes, yes, yes. Just kidding. No, yes. So choice 3. All right, and this last one. This is a piecewise function. We're going to use our graphing calculator again. So we did one of these a few days ago. I'm going to use the first one with green. So my first function, I need the x and y values. So I need -4. I'm going to go with -2, 0, 2. I'm just picking the even numbers. I'm going to my y equals. I'm going to type it in exactly as I see it. I hit clear to get rid of the function I have. Alpha y equals to get the fraction. Negative parenthesis x plus 2 over 2. Second table, I need the values from -4. So at -4, it is 1. At -2, it is 0. At 0, it is -1. And at 2, it is -2. So my first graph, I'm basically just putting two graphs on the same line, but I am restricted by what the interval is. So it wants the domain, would be the mathematical term, for this function from -4 to 2. So I'm going to graph that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. -4, 1. -2, 0. 0, -1, 2, -2. So this side is green. It only connects from here to here. So it was restricted on the domain. Now we'll do the other one. We'll use pink this time. So this one is only from 2 to 4. So now I'll use pink and I'll say x, y. So I'm using 2, 3, and 4 to graph this. In my y equals, I'm going to type in the new function, clear out the old. 4x minus 10. Second table, I want the values 2, 3, and 4. So at 2, it's -2. At 3, it's 2. And at 4, it's 6. So these are the values I'm graphing. 2, -2, 3, 2, and then 4, 2, 4, 6. So just from here to here. And that's how you graph that piecewise function. So it's two graphs on the same set of axes. Now it wants us to determine the range. What's the minimum to the maximum? What's the lowest value it hits to the highest value? So the lowest value was -2, or I can look at my chart, that's the smallest number. So the lowest is -2. It's in both of them. The highest or largest is 6. So I could say the range like that, or I could do y, -2 is less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to 6. Nice job, guys. That's a lot. So hopefully you're able to follow along. Good luck on the homework. Ask me for help if you need it. Thank you.